This guy was 2044, and we won without knowing any theory in this line. Okay, so today I'm gonna try and play against 2044 and see if I can win a game without playing any theory. So far I'm just controlling the center, developing some material. I'm going to play a Spanish opening. This is something that I don't know. Well, actually, this is only a Ruy Lopez for now. And hopefully I can win a game without knowing any theory, to demonstrate to you guys that 2000 plus rated players are not scary. So far it's all very logical moves. The bishop is getting attacked, so I move it back. Now this move might win my bishop, so I kind of want to play a4 here, creating a space for the bishop and also asking a question to this pawn chain. What does it want to do? Eventually I'm going to castle here, very important. Now I could take, rook takes. I'm not sure I love that, because, well, that kind of activates the queen and I leave this empty file. So I think I'm just going to castle here. That seems like a logical move. There's no problems with pins along this diagonal because the bishop developed this way. So now we can bring the bishop here. If there is a bishop exchange here, I'm happy to open up the rook and add some more control to the center with that pawn once it's there. So now we need to ask ourselves, what are the pieces that we have not developed yet? In this case, it's this knight. Okay, happy to take there. Again, some more control in the center. Yes, the pawns are doubled, which some of you might know it's not ideal, but in a middle game, often doubled pawns are not as big of a weakness as a lot of people think. So we need to develop this last knight. Where do we develop it? Well, I believe that both this or this move are reasonable. I feel like I like knight c3 a little bit better, because I gain some control over the d5 square. If this push ever happens, I can always reroute that knight to the king side. Okay, so let's do that now. I could have also jumped to the center. That was a good move. I'm gonna go here. So the idea right now is that I'm just trying to find some decent squares for my pieces. Nothing more than that. Now, what does this move do? Well, it's attacking this pawn. It's attacking this pawn. What's the most immediate threat? This one, because it's not defended. This one is defended two ways. So I feel like I should play something like queen e2 here, just defend the pawn. And we're gonna try and remove that knight from there. This is usually a kind of weakening move, especially since I don't have an f-pawn here anymore. That would stop defending the knight, would create some squares around the king. So I don't love that move, but I'm trying to see if I have any other way to attack this knight. I kind of like the move knight g5. It goes forward. Often you want to go forward with your pieces into your opponent's half of the board. So any move that kind of enters this, as long as it's creating some threats and problems, is good. After this move, I have quite a bit of pressure on this pawn. I'm going to have 3 attackers there. So if my opponent just kind of mindlessly kicks my knight, I can just take here and win material. So that can't be done. He might push with this pawn, but you might notice then that this knight doesn't have a lot of squares to go to. It cannot go back to f6. It will have to go to h6. So every pawn push is often seen as a weakening move. Okay, so this kind of blocks the attack on the pawn because the rook cannot see anymore. Now, whenever I see something like this, I start considering some possible sacrifices. Oh, and also there is this move. So knight to h5, knight takes, queen takes, and all of a sudden we have 4 attackers on the f-pawn. And we're threatening checkmate. Oh, I really like that move. So again, a knight move that goes forward. It's not really simple for my opponent to defend this now. I'm curious to see what he plays. And guys, all of this without knowing any theory, okay? Like, this is not a line that I play. I'm a d4 player. I'm a London player, actually. And you see, like, I feel like we are in a comfortable position. Okay, takes, threatening mate. So he has to play here and we take here. And I feel like we have a great position. We're just winning material right from the start of the game. He has to sacrifice the rook. Otherwise, if the king moves here, we have a discover check with the bishop. if the king comes up, this surely is wrong somehow. Let me see. So the first thing I notice is that I have this check. The pawn is pinned because of the queen. So check, king back. Do I have anything there? Well, I can position my knight here, defended by the bishop, attacking the rook. The rook can exchange. I bring the other rook to the open file. And then that knight is in a pretty strong outpost from there. And in the future, I might bring some more pieces in. That's definitely a possibility, I think. If I could somehow remove this queen, I might be able to give a check here or something. That seems very strong. Or I can just leave the knight there, to be honest, and start bringing more attackers. So it feels like we should be attacking here. Definitely feels like we should be attacking. So rook up strikes me as a decent move. But we need to make sure that black doesn't have a way to consolidate after that. So rook up, the knight can come back trying to get rid of this knight. Then maybe I have this check, king back, queen here, threatening checkmate. And if pawn takes, we have checkmate with the rook, or the queen has to sacrifice itself. Oh, wow, that's juicy. Okay, let's go rook f3. I might have missed something. Oh, he's offering a draw. Definitely don't accept a draw in a position like this. This seems like a position where we need to push for a win. And the way that you can tell that, if you've seen my video about brilliant moves, I mean, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 attackers, and black has 1, 2 defenders around the king. And I mean, this could count as a defender because it has a kind of quick way to reach us. But I mean, after knight check, king back, and queen here, I don't see a way for him to prevent checkmate. Oh, wow. Let's go for it. The bishop is covering this diagonal. The only move is to go back. Queen here. We're threatening checkmate. If pawn takes, we go here. Queen takes, we are up a queen. And it's basically GG. Look at that. Wow. I'm actually quite proud of this. Now he's going to take the bishop. Before you just capture back, I mean, this is the logical move, but we need to consider whether a check is a thing here. So check, the king will go here. Does that do anything? It doesn't seem like it. So I'm just going to recapture. Now, do notice that we are up 2 points of material, but black still has quite a bit of material, right? So we do need to be a little bit careful here. I'm going to... Okay, so if I win this pawn, I'm opening up a line to the king, and at the same time, I'm placing the queen on the same line as the king. So whenever you notice these kind of things, you want to be a little bit careful and think twice before you just mindlessly take. So maybe a move like queen here check might be better. That said, I don't really see a way for him to exploit that, I guess, although it could be dangerous in the long run. So something like queen here, rook here, doubling the rooks. So the way that I think about what my opponent's moves are is by thinking about what are the moves that I would play, of course. So bringing the rook into the attack seems very reasonable. I don't see something better than that. So queen takes, rook here. I cannot bring my rook here because of the battery. So after that, I can probably give a check at that point. My king can always find shelter on h1. So you know what? I think it is safe to take this pawn. And now we're up 3 pawns. And with the right play, we should be just simply winning. See? That's exactly the move that my opponent plays. So I feel like tucking the king on h1 gets it out of the way. Or I could start with this check with the queen. Oh, but check, now he blocks like this. So maybe that's not the best. Okay, I just want to avoid any problem. Although playing king h1 places the king on the same diagonal of the bishop, and in the future that could become relevant. What do we do? So let's say king h1, there is this move. But there isn't, because I can take with the queen. Okay, so we do need to be a little bit careful. Black has a lot of activity for the material we've gained. But as long as we don't mess up, this should be just clearly better for white. Of course, when we went for that attack, we sacrificed both a knight and a rook for the queen, which is often not the most favorable way to win a queen. Okay, he does go for that. So see, most of the moves that I consider are the moves that get played because they are the moves that make the most sense. But now I think I can just go here. If pawn takes, we take back, or we even block the diagonal. I actually quite like blocking the diagonal because the light square bishop is the main asset in this position. So we're just going to close down, and now this is never going to be a problem. That said, the rook could come down and try to win this pawn, but after that I can just defend from here, or even with my rook from e1. Whenever the rooks come down and check, I just trade, the other rook comes down, my king comes up, and there's no attack. So we're simply winning here. Now it's a matter of winning more material and starting to convert this into an actual win. Okay, he does go there. Let's defend. He can win this pawn. That doesn't really matter. It's not like that pawn was changing the position in any way. We can always attack this pawn as well. Okay, what is he trying to do here? He's trying to go for that pawn. Is that scary? I don't think it is. I do have to be a little bit careful with my clock. I also have this check that I can throw in there now. And I feel like that is... Oh, wait. Okay, let's just take this. We're also attacking the bishop, so he has to do something about that. He might be trying to double the rooks on this file to attack the king. We do need to be a little bit careful of that. But if we win enough material, we might even be able to give back the queen for both rooks, and we still have a rook for bishop and some pawns. So that's also something that, if push comes to shove, might have to be considered. Now, how do we go about winning a little bit more pawns here? Okay, so I'm going to play this move. This doesn't allow the rook from moving away because we're now attacking this rook, and it attacks this pawn and keeps the option open to give this check for whatever reason if necessary. So let's say, for example, if this rook moves here, I can give this check and win this rook. The more options are open, the better. Oh, okay. So let's just take that. Now we're also threatening this fork. So if the rook takes, again, we gain material, check. Rook takes, check, king up, bishop takes, rook down, attacking this pawn, and then we bring the queen here to defend it from afar and sacrifice the rook for the queen for the rooks. We're just completely winning. If I don't win this game, I'm quitting chess. And hopefully the things that I was saying during the video, my thought process makes sense. I don't think there's anything too crazy about what I said and the thought process itself. You just look at your pieces, the least active ones, you activate them. The pieces of your opponent that are the most active, you try to make them passive. Now we have this check, king is going to go up. That doesn't seem to lead to anything, so I'll just come here. Now I'm attacking this and this at the same time. The bishop cannot come to defend the pawn. Okay, so he's trying to architect some kind of attack there. This check doesn't really work because after the king comes up, this is always defended. I don't really want to be greedy and take this pawn. I feel like we need to acknowledge the attack. So I'm going to come here. Now this keeps pressure on the bishop, and this allows the rook from moving away, because if the rook moves away, well, actually, okay, he just takes there. That feels like a mistake to me. Yeah, it is, because I can go here, check, the king goes up, check, and we win the bishop. Leaving pieces loose. So the way that I spotted this is, first of all, realizing that this bishop is not defended by anything, remembering the fact that the king is very easily checkable. So we start looking for forks. When you have an open king, a queen, and an undefended piece, you need to be looking for forks. And that's how I spotted this one. Okay, this doesn't change anything. We win the bishop, and now this is even easier than it was. Okay, we go here, here. So now we're threatening all kinds of checkmates here or here, and black is completely lost. If my opponent brings the rook down, I can even give a check like this, king up, check like this, king back. I'm always defending here with the queen. This is an easy win. As long as I don't lose on time. That's another thing that you, of course, need to keep in mind. Now, I am talking during the game, and I'm not really used to doing that, so that is significantly slowing down my moves, because I'm trying to explain the position. But hopefully, okay, I'm gonna go here. There's no way to cover the check without bringing the king up. Now we can go here, threaten checkmate in 1. We have 2 attackers. That would be a kiss of death. If the rook comes to block, which is pretty much the only move, we can take the rook. And taking the rook is going to make the job even easier. Okay, take. The king comes up. Let's give a check. Let's come pick up the rest of the pawns. We can even give another check. Try and take this with check. And now, ooh, okay, careful. Careful now, he's threatening checkmate in 1. Very, very sneaky by him. So now here, if he tries to come back, this is checkmate. And there it is. So this guy was 20-44. And we won without knowing any theory in this line. So that's just to show you, openings do help you. But the thing that you need to practice the most is your tactical awareness. Oh, I played a brilliant move. Oh, yes, nice. Your tactical awareness, your chess principles, your board vision. So, and then knowing the fact that, okay, so apparently here, queen d2 was a mistake. I should have gone here right away attacking the knight. I missed that. Well, but the knight is defended. Wait, what? How's this any better? Okay, doesn't matter. See, that's something that I can improve. But then this sequence made a lot of sense. This wasn't the best move, apparently. Knight back right away was better. Check, here. What does it want from me? Queen here right away? Whoa. Oh, of course, because this is just checkmate. Wait, did I miss that in the game? I think I did. I should have just gone here. This allows the queen sacrifice. Wow. Okay. So, and see, 2000 plus rated players are far from perfect. Not a very good player, but still, like, just by following principles and logical moves, you can win against very high rated players, guys. This video is just kind of aimed at giving you some hope that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. As long as you keep practicing your vision of the board, you do your puzzles, you do your trainings, you review your games. See, the first thing I did after this game is review it. You are going to be fine. Wow, this is only 0.9 for white. That's kind of crazy, actually. Okay. Hopefully you found this video instructive. Thank you so much if you got all the way to the end of this video. And don't forget to subscribe. There are so many shorts that you need to recover if this is the first video of me that you see, and I will see you next time.